I'm going to take it down a notch on the social issues for a moment and simply just delve into the news that Sony, for whatever stupid reason, neglected to cover during their press conference. One of these things I understand, but the other two I don't understand because these are paramount. If you're going to build people who want to buy your product, these are things going into the next gen that we need to know. But I mean, that's kind of my point. Last night's presentation of the PS4 unveiling, minus the actual console, which Yoshida, of course, jokes that why does that matter? This was nothing. No, I'm serious. I'm not trying to crap all over it because it's kind of the thing to do. It's a matter of, this was a press conference to basically sell the system to people who were already going to buy the system. I reiterate exactly what I said because I stand by my words. What did we see yesterday? Did we see an actual live demo gameplay? No, we saw a lot of flashy videos and anything where they might be stopping or pausing things. As Aliens Colonial Marines has showed, we need to be skeptical. We have seen nothing to indicate that anything we saw is what the PS4 is actually going to do. And until it proves itself, which may not happen until release, there's nothing to truly be that excited about at this point because they haven't really shown us much. Now, I will hand it to them that there are some things that are really good that they did kind of cover that I had not been informed of until I was finally watching the entire thing yesterday or today, that I got to give them kudos for. They want to stream games for PS1, PS2, PS3, and PS4 onto the PS4. Meaning that the CPU, GPU, all that stuff, it's not the one that's doing the rendering. Therefore, they're doing backwards compatibility right. See, Nintendo, you could have done this. You could have allowed the Wii U to have the Wii and the GameCube games, but no, you decided screw that. We're going to have an ass backwards kind of network situation going on there, and we're going to call it next gen. Look, I'm trying not to harp any more on the Wii U. I am having some fun with the system, but I'm not gonna stop calling a spade if things are not right with the system. And I'm even hearing talks that Wii U owners are spamming anybody who dares to talk about the PS4 unless it's to bash it. And you're stupid. No, I'm sorry. You're just stupid. And that goes for you PS4 people who might either bash me or any of the Wii U people right back. Or any of the Microsoft people who are like, ha ha, we have the last announcement, and he who announces last announces best. Which, to be honest with you, I do believe Microsoft at E3 is going to blow the doors off the place. Doesn't make me want to buy the thing, but they're going to show Sony how it should have been done. They're going to give us something that's more substantial, though, again, until the system is out, until it is in my hand and I can play it and see that everything they showed us is exactly as advertised. I'm not going to hype up their systems because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of putting my credibility on the line and getting screwed by the industry. Because I have a lot of time invested in games, starting with the Atari 2600 and going on up through almost every console that's ever come out, with a few exceptions as far as some of the most obscure titles and obscure things out there. You know, I've played it personally. And I like some things that people really didn't like. And I hate some things that people really hold up as being the pinnacle of gaming. It is what it is. It's subjective. And I admit that. But what's not subjective is the fact that, for the most part, Sony has shown us nothing. And the downside to this is, if and when the PS5 comes out, and I'm extremely skeptical they're going to make it that far. I think Sony's going to make a good run at it with the PS4, but I don't see them continuing in hardware after this, because their business prowess sucks. Their business plan sucks. And after telling us repeatedly, oh, we can't do PS3 games on the Vita, even though I very much believe from tech specs it could at least handle it if in chunks, they're going to now stream PS3 games and PS4 games to the Vita. Still doesn't make me want to buy the Vita. I don't care anymore. Yes, the Vita's going to have stuff worth owning it for. Yes, I'm going to fish it out of the bargain bin or buy it secondhand because I'm not giving Sony my money anymore. I'm tired of how they treat me like a criminal, so I'm going to pay somebody else who happens to have the hardware and happens to have it nicely refurbished for me, and they'll get my money instead of Sony. But even then, I'm not going to buy the Vita back just so I can buy a PS4, just so I can stream all those games onto my system, needing something that's likely to be a 3G type unit and a plan with which to go with that if I'm going to play PS3 games away from my hotspot. That's not worth it. I'm sorry. It's not. But here's the good news. Let me summarize. PS4 will not block used games. That's a good thing. PS4 will not require an always-on connection. Now, why they didn't bring this up in their conference is stupid. Why is Yoshida the one who has to condescendingly tell us all these things or joke around with us in ways that, frankly, I don't find funny? But all of your PSN purchases will not transfer to the PS3. Or PS4, excuse me. So yeah, all that software, all that DLC, all those games that you've bought on PSN, guess what? You're going to have to rebuy them on the PS4 or just hope that your PS3 never breaks permanently. Because remember, PS3 support ends in 2015. Sony has said just as much. And I'm looking forward to it because by then, if they're not going to support the system, and I paid all this money for the system is mine. I'm no longer renting the hardware as oftentimes the gaming industry tends to make this like. Oh, you own this, but the moment you do anything that we might slightly disagree with, even if it's for completely legit and legal reasons, we're not going to service your machine. We don't want you enjoying the machine how you want to enjoy it. We want you to enjoy it how we want you to enjoy it. And if you don't do that, then, well, we're going to ignore you. Then, well, we're just basically going to say your business and your money is no good here, even if you continue to be a legally paying customer. It's basically saying the hardware's not really yours. You spent all that money, but it's not really yours. You're just kind of borrowing it from us, right? Because I can't really do what I want with my PS3. I'll save from transferring over all my data to a new hard drive, which they do teach you how to do that, and it won't void your warranty. You can literally open up your PS3, despite that little sticker, and switch out the hard drives for a bigger hard drive. But you can't go much further than I think it is a 740 gig hard drive, because the PS3 is not built for what do you call those? It's not the older model PS3s are not built for terabyte drives. So if you have that dream of storing everything forever on your system, you can't do that. And guess what? Thanks to developers being paranoid about save files, not every game is guaranteed to transfer all of its content over. So you're better off just keep sticking with your PS3 hard drive as it is now, because otherwise you're going to lose things. And if you already just barely beat a game by the skin of your teeth, you're either going to have to do it or say screw it. And I hate that. Because then that means my time, my investment means nothing when I want to upgrade my hardware, because I'm constantly deleting things off my PS3 because I can't fit it on my PS3. And that annoys me. That annoys me to no end. But I digress. Credit where credit is due. And I do also like the Guide Me feature, where somebody could drop into your game and they could help you play it. Or they could maybe get you through a space that's harder for you to play. That is smart. I like that. Not enough to buy the PS4, but hey, that's a better model for the elite gamers being of service to the less able-bodied gamers. I think it's a smart idea. It's not just, oh, you've got to be elite in MLG to beat this game, and if you're not, well, then I'm not going to waste my time with you. Oh, so you're naturally born with a skill that you didn't hone, you were just born with. And that automatically makes you better than everybody else, right? Right? But so there's some good news, but there is some bad news in PlayStation 4 land. And frankly, it's still, I'm glad they're not locking out used games because that would be shooting themselves in the foot, but it still doesn't make me want to buy a PS4. At this point, there's very few things that are going to get me to buy a PS4 other than maybe buying it out of the bargain bin years from now and fishing all the AAA titles out of the bargain bin as well and buying everything for peanuts that you spent ridiculous amounts of money to, because until the PS4 proves itself with a live demo that I can get to try, it hasn't proven jack squat. That little presentation was meaningless.